What's up, Overwatchers? Welcome back to UGC Overwatch. This is it. It is time for Grand Finals of UGC Overwatch Season 8 Premiere. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, it's Rapture here with JJSkywalker. JJ, you ready to get into this one between Ungentlemen and CmonBrothers?
Definitely, man. We've seen both of these teams performing, literally extraordinary, dominating a lot of their games and just developing their tactics over time. They're no doubt not the same teams we've seen, even with Ungentlemen, us seeing them last week. I'm ready to see what they got against, well, essentially both top pillar men, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Coming into these playoffs, both teams were actually, the top 1 and 2 seeds. They had buys in the semifinals. Ungentlemen took on Remnants and defeated them 3-2 in that semifinals matchup, and so that was a pretty closer matchup as opposed to CmonBrothers. They took on Forever and Ever in the semifinals, and that went 3-0 for CmonBrothers. So playoffs-wise, it seems like CmonBrothers seem to be stronger coming into this matchup. But if we look at the regular season, Ungentlemen were 5-1 coming into the playoffs. The only team they lost to was a team that might have made the playoffs if they weren't suspended. Whereas CmonBrothers, they only went 4-2 in the regular season, and they already lost to Ungentlemen in Week 1. So they're already 0-1 against Ungentlemen in Season 8 Premiere. So keep that in mind. But that was a long time ago, all the way back in September, about 2 months ago when they faced. So let's see how much those 2 months have made a difference coming into this one. This is the first playoff appearance for CmonBrothers. This is their first season as a team in UGC, whereas of course, if you've been following UGC, you know Ungentlemen. This is their 4th season, their 2nd in the Premier division, and is a team that's been around since August of 2017. Scooty and Rhino, in fact, have been on the roster since August 2017, since its inception, whereas we have some additions from May of this year and even September of this year, filling out the rest of the squad.
Yeah, right here, both teams starting off strong. Ungentlemen already on the point, dominating as far as it is, and CmonBrothers trying their best to just push through what is essentially a pretty harsh wall that Ungentlemen's pulling out here with their dive.
Yeah, right now it's already been a solid start for the blue side here. And Ungentlemen obviously going to play just a little bit, not to give up too much positioning. They're going to try and just sit at the bridge, build up some ult charge, and then fall back because they don't want to get picked off and lose the fight before it really gets started here. But Snake is also harassing in the back line. But Go Crazy goes down before the fight gets started, and that's exactly what you don't want to see. And that means the Red Squad has to fall back. Ungentlemen still, holding on strong, about to hit that 50% mark.
We'll have to see what they're going to do right now. They're just waiting, seeing what they can do. Go Crazy. It looks like he's going to be trying to go in the backline right now. Of course, taking advantage of all those health packs. Keep themselves as healthy as possible. They're kind of looking for a matchup. Go Crazy positioning himself right now. About to get into a fight.
Oh, and there's the Graviton sucking everyone in. EMP, though. And then a sound barrier thrown down on everyone who's in the Graviton. So that's going to allow the rest of CmonBrothers to now break out onto the blue squad, but they don't have the damage to follow it up, and they're losing numbers left and right. 3 down now. It's a 6-3 advantage, even more so for the Ungentlemen squad. So, they're holding on to this very easily. CmonBrothers have not gotten any leverage on the point so far, and they even tried to use a Doomfist to get things done. They've already switched off of that, so they're super low on ult charge. Only one player on CmonBrothers has an ult. Everybody else has no ult charge at all. And at 92% coming in here, there's a D.Va bomb coming out, denying CmonBrothers an opportunity to get out to the point, but they're going to use the D.Va to sneak in on the window, and then use a self-destruct to stay on the point. Rhino goes down, Waves gets back into the cockpit, and now there's a Primal Rage and Winston in their face. That's going to be super hard to deal with as Bullywug picks up the kill and Go Crazy, and Fridge gets Waves. Overtime ticks away, and there it is, already 1 point here for the Ungentlemen squad.
And it's something that we saw last week, something Ungentlemen always pulled out. They have a strong early game, and the moment that they start locking down that point, it's going to be very difficult for any team, it seems, to go against it. Nonetheless, CmonBrothers have come this far, and we saw it come out from Remnants. That defense can be chipped away if tackled in certain manners, and I have no doubt that CmonBrothers might be coming up with something. We saw that death ball coming out at the end a little late, of course. They had no alternative, literally only Diva Bomb. Maybe that change will come a lot sooner, and maybe it'll do a lot more for them because of it.
Yeah, the Diva play at the end was risky, obviously, because you're using it to, touch the point, and you have to do that, but then your Diva's leaving the rest of the team and putting the rest of the squad at disadvantage, and the team fight was lost partially because of that. But you have very few choices and very few, options that late in a fight, that late in the game. And now we move on to the second point in here, going to be in Night Market, and Ungentlemen already getting onto the point, very similar to the last point we just saw, and it's going to be up to CmonBrothers to try and get some room of their own on the point, and they're going again for the Doomfist. And remember, the Doomfist, I believe, has it been this nerf? There's a patch that just came out. I know a bunch of characters have been affected. Roadhog, one of them as well. A Reaper getting buffs here. I'm not sure if Doomfist is on it, but I know they're trying to make changes to Doomfist. So, nevertheless, it's not stopping Snake from picking him. Already going down though, and Ungentlemen really in full control here. I mean, CmonBrothers seem to be unable to pick apart Ungentlemen. They're just sticking together in this deathball comp, and so far, CmonBrothers have not figured out a way to get them all separated.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, time will only tell if they're able to find out anything. Ult already coming in, and right now it looks like Nano Boost is going to maybe be the choice of play here, but Doomfist is pushing himself very forward. That's already happened, I believe, twice. Doomfist initially going out, and Ungentlemen are probably going to be looking for something just to take advantage of this extra percentage time.
And I did check. Doomfist did not get changed this patch. It's only been Roadhog, Reaper, Mercy, and Symmetra, as well as the addition to some hero jump heights, I think, across the board for all the characters. So it's all more consistent, and then gonna go from there. So, and then of course Ashe. So I believe Ashe isn't even legal right now. So we'll see. There's the Doomfist getting onto the point and getting discorded. So easily melted there is Snake. A 6v4 advantage here for Ungentlemen, and just pushing back CmonBrothers, who have yet to really have a true fight on this point so far, and they have very little to show for it. Only one EMP. The Ginjo about to have Winston Primal Rage switched over to the Reinhardt. So again, another situation where they're giving up ult charge to make these changes on the fly late in the round, and that might not pay off well for this CmonBrothers squad. Ungentlemen not even worried about playing this aggressively over at the Ramen spot, and they're using this Zarya bubble to get up and be aggressive. There's the EMP though from Go Crazy, and immediately a Transcendence from Irish Taxicab is perfectly placed outside of the range of the MP, but it's not going to be enough to keep Ungentlemen alive with the self-destruct and Earth Shatter and more used here by CmonBrothers. They're throwing the kitchen sink and then some just to break through on Ungentlemen, and really they don't have much of a choice here, and they're going to do it just at the 99% mark. So Ungentlemen really can't be mad at that. They've gotten almost everything they could possibly want other than the win, and now they just need to win one more fight to take the round and the map.
And they got a good amount to come into this next fight. Graviton, Lucio Barrier, lots of stuff to just put the team together and just dish out a lot of damage right after.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it's going to be definitely on waves here to have that defense matrix ready for the Graviton. That's going to come out from Scooty, using it just a little bit here. And that Zarya gets knocked away and easily cleaned up here by Snake and Waves. Goes down before they're able to use the Graviton. And a big cleanup here for CmonBrothers as they get their first clean win as they are holding the point after getting it. And they get a little bit of a stagger to boot on Irish Taxicab. So a good start here for the Red squad. Now they're at 33%, getting closer and closer to trimming this lead down.
Agreed. I mean, Ungentlemen's probably going to be a lot more wary, but that stun from Snake just mitigated their entire attack on Zarya. We'll see if they'll be able to go past it.
Oh, and Waves is on the Zarya, gets knocked away though, isn't in position, kick in position to block the Graviton with the defense matrix. It was a great play there by the Bree OP freeze, but still it's not enough. CmonBrothers now finding that fire they were lacking in the first round. They're figuring out a way, just surviving against Graviton and then some, and now still trying to put some pressure on the point. Waves on it. EMP comes down by Go Crazy, and now look at a snowball off of that one. Rhino gets one on Snake and rejoins the Reinhardt here to try and make their way onto the point itself. Nice using the ice wall to separate the rest of the tanks from Diva. And Diva can use the self-destruct to go up into the air here. Oh, the Ana is outside instead of the, away from the Diva. Gets separated, comes right back on. OP Freeze gets one. Bullywug super low, 54 HP. And then hits the Earth Shatter on the discorded Sombra. ATT gets a kill on Bullywug. And both teams scrambling for kills, but it will be CmonBrothers faltering. They're unable to survive. Oh, there's an Earth Shatter though from Kinja as he tries to rejoin the fight and turn things around. That was a huge Earth Shatter, but isn't enough to take out this Ungentlemen squad. Someone has to go and touch the point. Overtime ticking away now. and then Reinhardt just barely able to, as well as Go Crazy, but they also get melted. And now the Diva, there's a Graviton that goes down. I think that got eaten by Waves, but at this point, it might not nearly be enough. There's no one there to help him out. Waves goes down, Snake goes down as well. Overtime taken away. It's the Lucio by themselves. The Discord, of course, can help it out. And there it is, 100 to 99% win. Ungentlemen will take it 2-0 on Lijiang Tower, and now they have a 1-0 lead in the set.
Just a repeat, literally, of what we saw. Just that sheer power of defense. But still, CmonBrothers showing up a lot. Those initial wipes that they were able to do in that 0% defense did them a lot. It pushed them forward right here with Ginja just being able to get good Earthshatters. Both teams having pretty good Earthshatters and just using mechanical play to their top level. Them having Rally, them having Lucio Berry at the end helped, and maybe that'll help them going forward, going into these next maps, as they will be choosing the next one.
Yep, and this is a best of 5, so first team to 3 maps takes it. They will take the season. And remember, Ungentlemen, this is their second season in NA Premier, but it wouldn't be their first championship. They did take NA Steel in their second season back in Season 6, I believe. So this could be a 2-time championship for them, but of course it would be their first NA Premier, whereas their opponents, CmonBrothers, this is their first season UGC in any division. And it would definitely be a great way to start things off by getting a victory here in the playoffs, in the grand finals. Over Ungentlemen, certainly one of, I don't know if Dynasty is making it too dramatic, but this is a team that's been around for a while, and these players have been around for a while. So to get a win over them would definitely be significant. But a big road, a big mountain to climb, a long road to travel, as they're already down 1-0 against Ungentlemen in this best of 5. And it looks like we're going to be getting Anubis as our second map here. So already getting to Assault. I'm sure you're all excited. But we are going to Anubis, so we'll see how it works out for both of these teams. Anubis seems to be... I think we were discussing this last time, JJ, actually. How, Anubis has certainly become a more popular Assault pick. And that's definitely staying true right here as we're going to the second map, Temple of Anubis. And that'll be, of course, the CmonBrothers counter pick here. They lost, so they'll get the pick of the map.
Yeah, people will take advantages in any way they can. I think especially with the upcoming just double sniper comps that we've seen in Kings Row and even Junkertown. A lot of people have been much more wanting of Anubis, even though it's in a way much hated, just because of those respawn advantages you get in the second point. Yet the attack, if ferocious, aggressive enough, can just mitigate those entire respawn advantages if they're able to just wipe out the entire team very fast. So I can see where the like and dislikes can come in for wanting an Anubis match, especially in tournament play.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if teams might possibly go Reaper. You see Reaper on point B of Anubis infrequently, but it's you definitely see it. Ran with some confidence at times, and now that Reaper has the slight buff of getting the health life steal from 20% to 30%, I'm curious, maybe teams might want to take advantage of that on point B. We'll see. Roadhog, I don't think has really ever been a popular character on Temple of Anubis really ever, so I doubt the changes to Roadhog would make them a potential pick here. Mercy could show up, but of course I think the teams are going to be going with Goats or just dive with Ana and Lucio, so they're probably not going to run Mercy. And then Symmetra, maybe defense if things are going a little too nuts and you're trying to do some desperation play. But even with the buffs to Symmetra, I don't think we'll be seeing them. So pretty standard fare for characters you're going to see on Anubis coming into this. Of course, Ungentlemen, if you're just joining us, is up 1-0 after taking Lijiang Tower 2-0 with a 100-0 win and a 199 win over CmonBrothers. And we might see some Goats. We might see more than that here. We're already seeing Orisa, Junkrat. We're seeing a little more of a character diversity here. Go Crazy on the Sombra still. And no surprise there, Sombra continues to be a very popular pick, as is Widowmaker as Rhino. Switching over to that, and that makes sense on defense, trying to give use as much of this shield as you possibly can, right? Get as much value out of it. So spam that damage with the Junkrat, get those picks with the Widowmaker, and then Rhino can back off if they need to. But they have to be careful, of course, because Go Crazy is going to be putting on some backline pressure, which can be hard, make it hard for Widowmaker to do proper damage as a sniper.
Yeah, and right now CmonBrothers just seem to be scoping out the situation, looking for positional advantage, and they go straight in. Monkey on top, a trap, anti-heal, but still, both teams, the heals are going towards red. It looks like a pretty successful attack so far.
Yeah, I would almost say that, at first glance, that Ana nade was good because it was perfect on the Winston, but the problem was that, that grenade could most likely have been better used on the teammates, right? And healing teammates who got pretty much slaughtered outside. Like, sure, the Winston got melted because it got, anti-healed, but everyone else got bodied. So if you had that biotic on the rest of the team, who knows, the fight might have gone differently. But already a very, very rapid win here for CmonBrothers. A very solid start. Ungentlemen already against the ropes a little bit here, but 6 minutes and 47 seconds here, JJ, to push point B. So a luxury of time here for CmonBrothers.
Yeah, and something scary to go against. They got a lot of value out of their kills there, so that right now, ult advantage is no doubt in CmonBrothers' favor.
And Snake is about to have the blade again. Having Dragon Blade is an option to go into this, especially with the defense can be clumped up on point B, makes it even more valuable. We'll see one big biotic here from Half can make it so much easier to get kills. Iris Taxicab goes down like scissors through paper. Snake gets 4 off of that Dragon Blade, and Half throwing down the Nano Boost helps out with so much damage on that Dragon Blade. A great combination. A team kill. There it is. And we're not even at that 6-minute mark, and point B might actually get capped before we hit it. We're just going to hit it. Oh, just a touch there from Rhino and OP Freeze. And that's not going to be enough to touch it. Scooty can't even get there in time on the Diva. And look at that. CmonBrothers hitting just under 6 minutes to complete the entire map. They have set themselves up for a solid start, adding 1 minute and 57 seconds to the time they started with coming out of the gate.
That's unbelievably ridiculous. Snake is popping off on that Genji and that play. I've never seen such a slow, concise, yet aggressive play. That's the kind of stuff that you see in Anubis that is scary. Just that snowball momentum, yet there was never a moment where you felt like CmonBrothers was just forcing it. It just felt slow. It felt almost perfected, just looking for that opening in the armor. And they went for it every single time beautifully.
Yeah, and really there wasn't much for Ungentlemen to respond with, right? Like, they lost their Zenyatta immediately. I don't remember what ult charge they were at, if they even had Transcendence, but it didn't matter. They got bodied immediately, and that's, Transcendence is one of your go-to options to stop Dragon Blade or Nano Blade. You lose that, and your other characters don't have crowd control ultimates. They didn't have anything like that. They didn't have, a burst kind of ultimate ready to go, right? So they had, like, almost no response to that Dragon Blade. Even a little crowd control could have been helpful, and they didn't have that. So it really ran wild, and of course everyone's clumped up. Makes it really easy to get those kills, and once the Zenyatta goes down, you're really, kind of up a river without a paddle against a Dragon Blade that's nano boosted. So a really good play there by CmonBrothers, not hesitating at all. And honestly, I think this makes sense because, they took a little time to get the engines warmed up a little bit. They lost 100-0 in the first round of Lijiang, but then they made it really close in the second round, and now look, now they're, firing on all cylinders on the second map on Anubis. So we'll see. Now, Ungentlemen, can they hit that bar? Can they keep pace with CmonBrothers? We'll see as they break out here with a combination that's very similar to what we saw last time with some slight adjustments. And Fridge already going down early, a 6v4 advantage here for CmonBrothers. And they're going to press that advantage as they've isolated the Ungentlemen on the staircase. They pick up those kills. They're going to stagger the Diva. That's even better. Scooty goes down late, and they're going to let them go back to spawn there. If you don't want them to get that mech back too quick, and there we go. That's a nice win there for the CmonBrothers.
Yeah, good initial defense right now. Both teams kind of just scoping each other out with Go Crazy. It seems like they're getting a lot of intel right before any fight actually goes in. It looks like they're kind of taking that a lot into consideration.
About 3 minutes, so a minute eaten away already, and pretty much nothing to show for it here for the Ungentlemen. They haven't built up any ultimates, and they haven't changed their composition, I don't believe. So, and Fridge going down again, the first one to go down as the fight starts. They also OP Freeze also got slept, so they can't even stay along with the fight consistently. Rhino goes down. Pretty much Ungentlemen are kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off here, and they're trying to get back out, but now they have 3 of their members staggered out and not going to be responding at the same wave as the rest of the team. That's a big stagger here. Ungentlemen, though, trying to take the Sombra with them. Does get it. Bullywug, though, goes down as Snake picks up the kill. And now 2 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock. Ungentlemen still applying pressure because they know they can stream in from spawn, but I think they realize it's better just to wait for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's strange. CmonBrothers' positioning is kind of everywhere. They kind of look to take away as much as possible from Ungentlemen as they're going in, and yet they're Ana all the way in the background, not getting really dived for the most part, and also positioning not very easy to heal from that area.
Oh, Go Crazy doesn't get the cleanest EMP. Oh, and a nice sleep onto the nano-boosted monkey there. Half will get the kill on the Rhino. A slight advantage for CmonBrothers. And Ungentlemen still haven't committed. They want to go into the pointer. They're still hanging out on this high ground. The EMP didn't get like super clean shots, but it wasn't ultimately committal at the end. So not a big loss there for CmonBrothers. They're still winning the fight nonetheless. A great transcendence just to confirm it. It's almost overkill at this point. Ungentlemen shut down, but they're saving smartly their remaining ultimates for the next fight.
Yeah, with a general wipeout right now, Ungentlemen just trying to get out as best as they can. We do see a lot of ultimates right now on Ungentlemen. They've got a good stock, but it all depends on what they decide to go in. Genji Blade, maybe Lucio Berry, an initial Diva Bomb to get them off the point. All depends, but we are already at the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, probably the weakness here for CmonBrothers, they don't have any support ultimates, so they're gonna have to rely on Half's Biotic Grenade and the Discord from ATT to really do anything. Self-destruct comes in. It doesn't get all the way into the room, but it does catch Ayer's Taxicab. A 5v4 advantage now for CmonBrothers, and then they push it for more. Rhino goes down. Primal Raging Winston Ginja gets out with their life intact easily. And again, a situation where Ungentlemen are, half their team gets killed, the other half gets staggered out and has to go back to spawn or die. And that's, eating away a lot of time on this offensive push. CmonBrothers looking so solid on this defensive hold here. And even if they lose this, I mean, look how much time they'll have in comparison on Ungentlemen if they're able to win. I mean, really, this is not a stressful situation for CmonBrothers at all. It's up to Ungentlemen here to get something happening. They have 4 ultimates to do it, but they got to hit those Qs at the right time. Let's see what they go first here. Of course, Fridge and Upfreeze are going to be using for the Dragon Blade, but an EMP comes out from Go Crazy before they're able to get anything done. That's a huge EMP, and it makes the cleanup so easy. A desperation self-destruct comes out from Scooty, but it's nowhere near enough or even close to hitting anybody or doing any kind of significant damage. Overtime ticks away here. And look at that, CmonBrothers going to take away Anubis convincingly, almost more convincingly than Ungentlemen took Lijiang Tower. And now, JJ, it's a 1-1 set.
It's crazy how we literally just watched Ungentlemen do so well on Lijiang, just 2-0 them completely, and then the complete return on a completely different map.
Yeah, exactly. This is a pretty dynamic series already. Here's the Dragon Blade, I believe. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Literally turns the Zenyatta, in position to get just destroyed, skewered there, put on a stick, and everyone else kind of falling like dominoes there. And there is a very rapid Temple of Anubis win. So we'll see what the third map is going to be. Ungentlemen, of course, they lost, so it's their pick. This is a best of 5. So now it's a best of 3, right? Now it's just a regular UGC Overwatch matchup, essentially. It's both teams are in a best of 3 situation, 2 more maps, and either team will take it. So, of course, a lot on the line, as this is grand finals, so whoever wins it is the champion here in NA Premier.
No, I'm fascinated because Ungentlemen, it's seen that they're really good on their defense, but we saw something completely different come out from CmonBrothers. Not only was their assault very calculated, very slow, but their defense was very separated, segregated even, where literally only 3 or even 2 people would go in to attack the main group while they were concentrating on something else, mostly positioning, it seemed, on Ungentlemen's part. And through that, they would at least get 1 to 2 kills, and it would force the enemy team to consider possibly just backing away, which is what Ungentlemen tried to do, either stay in that high position or just completely back out, and that caused a lot of time lag. That's something you do not want on Anubis. So it was just fascinating overall. I can't wait to see it seems right now we're going to be going into King's Row. There
we go. Of course, I mean, obviously we're going to King's Row. One of these teams had to pick King's Row if we're going to have a best of 5 here. You can't have a best of 5 and not go to King's Row. And I'm glad we're going here for map 3. This could be a momentum map right here, This is a swing map. You win this, you could have the momentum to ride it out. It could be hard to come back after, a second map loss. And Ungentlemen are in that position, right? Like, they win the first map, somewhat convincingly, and now they're down a quick map. It's now going into the third one. If there's a quick King's Row victory here, I mean, that could be it for Ungentlemen. So hopefully they haven't, dug their trenches yet. They're still... it's anyone's match literally right now as you go into King's Row. And coming into this one, there was a swap for the blue side Ungentlemen. They did switch out their player Fridge for Surgerk. So another team, actually both of those players joined the team at the beginning of the season on September 8th and 9th. So another one of those later additions to the team. But really, Ungentlemen, this is like almost like three generational kind of like roster that they're fueling here, JJ, right? Like they have Rhino and Scooty from all the way back in August 2017. They have Bullywug, and they have OP Freeze Bullywug's from January of this year, OP Freeze May of this year. You have Surgerk, and you have Irish Taxi Cab now from September. So you have all these different players from all, eras of Ungentlemen, so to speak. And then you have this fresh team up against them who have now brought them to a 1-1 right now in Map 3 going to Kings Row. So certainly a great set so far, and we'll see how Kings Row pans out as the red squad here. It is CmonBrothers going out first on offense. You saw how strong they were on Anubis defense and how quick they got things done on offense. We'll see if that carries over to Kings Row.
Now, right now, again, initial attack coming from CmonBrothers, very calculated, separated, yet they're looking for intel, looking for that attack to go into.
You already see a rotation here for CmonBrothers. They're, forcing the Ungentlemen players into, losing this high ground advantage, anything they can get, and possibly being the attackers in this situation. But Rhino does get taken out, or gets the kill on a Ginja, and now we have a final push onto the point itself. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and already the kill feed's going blue. Ungentlemen are stomping CmonBrothers, as that rotation doesn't really work out at all, as they are lost Ginja early, with Ginja going down, losing that main tank, and pretty much shut down the rotation right then and there. And that will be a full hold here for Ungentlemen.
Yeah, Ungentlemen just keeping their squishies in a much more closed space, which was a hotel, or rather clock tower, I believe, and just stopping it up with Junkrat trap and all form of Junkrat bombs shooting straight through the corridors. That so far seems to be the running strategy that helped them, and I'm wondering if they're going to repeat and what CmonBrothers would try to pull out to, I suppose, make the attack better.
And Rhino is about to get EMP, just hanging around waiting for that. Gonna get a little bit ult charge by harassing the back line of these supports, and get that hack on the half. And yeah, this is, why not push up? The supports are completely separated from the rest of the team. They're gonna go super aggressive and try and shut down CmonBrothers supports. Bullywug gets slept, and then Rhino gets hacked. And all of a sudden, Ungentlemen, it looks like their push might get stopped, but they have the Junkrat Riptire to get things done. They've already lost 2 players. Is it going to be enough to even the odds here? That gets 2, plus Waves gets DMAC, and all of a sudden it is an even situation, minus the now ITT gets 1. Snake with the Dragon Blade. They're nano boosted. They're looking for more. Finds Rhino on the high ground. And Ungentlemen going to stagger that Irish Taxi Cab Lucio and pick up the kill of CmonBrothers onto Ungentlemen. Ungentlemen losing point A at 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Yeah, and it was a little surprising. It seemed like Ungentlemen was on top of what CmonBrothers were trying to do. Clearly, they're moving the much slower supports through very accessible areas. In tackling that, they were able to take most of them out, but then they had all of their own people taken out at the same point over time.
Yeah, honestly, that fight went back and forth multiple times there. There was a very aggressive push by the defense to try and isolate the offensive support line. They got hit by Riptires. Riptires came out. It seemed like it was enough to, keep it in Ungentlemen's favor, but it wasn't. Now we have a Graviton to a self-destruct in the back line. EMP also gets thrown down. A lot of ultimates being used here, but Snake was picking up the kills on the back end. 3 uppercutting Bullywug into the air after they get stunned there. And now 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock as we're going to round this first corner, the second phase of Kings Row. And Ungentlemen regrouping from the defensive spawn as they are looking to try and stop this payload before it hits the second checkpoint. CmonBrothers, after winning this, the previous map on Temple of Anubis, have gotten things going. Not as quick of a start as we saw in Anubis, but definitely still pretty swift. And now here's our next engagement. The Doomfist and the Monkey going in together, jumping right in. The Winston Doomfist combination not doing enough damage up against the sound barrier coming up from the Lucio. Primal Rage just to try and get things at least salvaged in this fight. And Scooty does go down as a result. There's their chatter, and it will crack down Ginja and Waves, both getting knocked down. The tank line obliterated for CmonBrothers. And Ungentlemen using their ultimates wisely there to pick apart CmonBrothers, and they make it work.
Yeah, I mean, when coming into the initial streets, it was even even 2-for-2 ultimates, but that Lucio barrier changed the game with just that mechanical play. With Doomfist and Monkey on top of your best people, it's something that they probably Ungentlemen knows CmonBrothers are going to do. Lucio barrier just blocks all of it and allows them to just have complete free reign on that fight.
Yeah, and once they've used those cooldowns, they're separated from the rest of the team. And then we later find the tank lines getting bopped by the Earth Shatter. So, yeah, good placement there by Ungentlemen. Now holding again on the payload just outside the second checkpoint. Doomfist gets nano boosted, but can't get onto the front line, being knocked away. And that nano boost is almost being wasted on Snake. He's just trying to look for a way, and by the time he's going to do so, gets knocked away by Bullywig's charge, who is on the Winston. Now using the Meteor Strike to dive down. Go crazy with the EMP. Scooty, though, still doing a bunch of damage to Waves. That's the fall back. Pressure's on from Ginja. Now Irish Taxicab getting onto the point. Bullywug onto it as well. Waves has a self-destruct to use just in case, but it does wake up Bullywug. Throws that self-destruct into the back line and just barely survives getting into the cockpit at 5 HP. Now charging, shoulder checking Bullywug, and into the Graviton. Everyone's going to get sucked up there by Scooty, but the kills are just not there. Scooty gets one, but Waves puts them down and makes him pay the ultimate price. Now 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock here for CmonBrothers as they continue to push the payload through up against Ungentlemen.
I don't even know how to explain it, but with something we saw in Lijiang, it's something that we're seeing here is that there's so much going on every single fight, so much dynamic movement just between every single player.
And Rhino now has an EMP again going into this fight. This could be enough to once more stop CmonBrothers as they get early into the phase. And there's the EMP up against the nano-boosted Doomfist. Of course, once again, the Meteor Strike is used to keep themselves alive a little longer and evade these big stuns. Go crazy, ATT get on the board, and Rhino, unfortunately, unable to really follow up on that EMP. The nano-boosted Dragon Doomfist also evading their grasp. But Waves picking up 2 right now. Waves actually popping off a little bit on the tail end of this fight, and then Snake picking up the rest of them, and that payload continues to move forward.
We'll have to see. I mean, these guys are strong. They literally lost no one, and they've got ultimates to go. Both tank ultimates right there in the wait, and no doubt it's going to be used in fighting this.
No. Earth Shatter puts put down, and then it's so delayed it does not get a clean hit at all. Self-destruct up against the wall. That's not gonna hit anything either. 1.78 meters remaining as we just get below 1 minute and 30 seconds here. We're getting even closer and closer. EMP drop down yet again. Plus the Graviton, Scooty and Rhino doing and helping out Bullywug and Irish Taxicab to get 2 kills there, and the payload will come to a halt. Nobody of CmonBrothers remains, and there's the team kill, and there's the team win.
Yeah, by the skin of their teeth, just pushing against all that power. Diva ultimate, Monkey push, trying to not get knocked off the map. All of them just putting everything they can in order to get like the maximum out of this death ball.
Yeah, and better late than never, though. 50 seconds now remaining on the clock as we move forward here with no ultimates for CmonBrothers. Go Crazy is about to get the Graviton, but that's it. That's all they have. We'll see how much it's going to be enough. There's an Earth Shatter that goes down, and that's going to get blocked. A Graviton goes down, and that's not going to be significant. They might have even gotten eaten, but definitely didn't get much either. There's a Coalescence now, plus a Sound Barrier. Ungentlemen using all their support ultimates, but they're not getting they're keeping players alive. And the Irish Taxicab gets flung into the pit. Earth Shatter that's going to hit on OP Freeze. Payload in full control by CmonBrothers, and this Reinhardt has to touch it. Bullywug unfortunately cannot do it. And round 1 will be completed just in time by CmonBrothers, but they did it below a minute.
It's fascinating. I think literally like 3 ultimates were farmed per team in the middle of that fight and then used immediately. Double rally, Lucio barrier. I don't even remember what the rest were, but a very concise push and still a hold from Ungentlemen. If Ungentlemen can attack just faster than that, their time bank is going to be, well, a ton better considering how far they were, I suppose, pushing back CmonBrothers. But nonetheless, CmonBrothers able to finish the map before they run into overtime, which is an advantage, I suppose, on their side. Yeah,
for sure. And this is, of course, a complete difference from Anubis, where CmonBrothers, they had like 5 minutes and 40-something seconds, 57 seconds on the clock as they held off Ungentlemen. Here, the difference is they have 15 seconds. So there's a lot more riding on this defense. They can't get away with slipping up a little bit. They didn't on Anubis, but they had room to slip up and, give a lot of, give some leeway, give some slack if they needed to. Here, they really don't. They really want to hold Ungentlemen to, as low of a time as possible. And so far, Ungentlemen has definitely made it hard for CmonBrothers to play consistently throughout this map. We've definitely seen a back and forth fights for both of these teams. So far, CmonBrothers has lost that steam that they had kind of coming into the map a little bit, and now Ungentlemen, this is their opportunity to strike and kind of inject some poison into the squad, right? Like, this is where they can now regain control of the momentum of this fight. And as we move quicker and quicker into our next engagement, they're going to check into the hotel and move into the back line, and a great biotic grenade there by half that hits 3 of the members there of Ungentlemen. No immediate follow-up, but nonetheless a great one. A nice sleep, though, from Surgic to deny the D.Va for just a little while longer. But Snake gets the kill on OP freeze. Winston's going to have to fall back. Bullywug chases them down, but catches the D.Va in their pin. And this Reinhardt is completely out of position while Go Crazy is slept, but no one's there to kick the kill. And now Ungentlemen are just nowhere to be found. They have to go back to spawn because they've lost their tanks, and they've lost approaching a minute on the clock.
Yeah, Gentlemen opening a little bit of opportunities for themselves, able to get good sleeps, and even a little bit out of positioning from CmonBrothers. But CmonBrothers they've got the positioning right there and right now, and they're abusing it to the best of their ability.
3 minutes on the clock. A great biotic grenade there to get things going from Surgic to keep them bolstered to move into the fight. And it's close quarters. Snake, though, immediately ejected, goes right out. Gonna wait for them to come outside because, why not? Ungentlemen can't take the point from inside the building. So let them come to us, and they will get control of the high ground nonetheless. And Snake and the D.Va will be, putting some pressure on the high ground while Ungentlemen continues to rotate around CmonBrothers. Now finally going to jump down. CmonBrothers meeting them on the point. Ninja and Go Crazy at the front line. There's the nano boost. Oh, another biotic grenade. Surger purpling a bunch of this front line here, but it's still not enough to get the kills. 6v5, 5v4 situation here. Rhino had a high noon. That gets popped and goes nowhere. And Ungentlemen getting slapped and battered away, just like we saw in Anubis. This defense of CmonBrothers is absolutely stellar right now. The biotic from half, ATT with these discords, making it easy for the tanks and the Doomfist to melt things and Go Crazy with yet another EMP ready to go for the next fight.
Yeah, and even Half is dedicating himself to that damage. And McCree, the moment he was seen, just took so much damage, ended up getting killed by the Ana. But right now, Rhino able to get waves, D.Va out of the way, and an even fight actually for Ungentlemen.
Wow, and, that was a great play there. The EMP into Half's biotic grenade helps Snake put down Scooty easily, and then Snake follows up for 2 more kills, plus Half gets the one Irish taxi cab. And that's that, 1, 2, 3 punch there coming out from CmonBrothers, right? Like, they have the EMP, the biotic, and then the Doomfist to clean things up.
Snake is just something nasty to witness right now. It's literally where it seems that there's a stagnation, an even play in the fighting field. Snake just completely trumps it with one ultimate.
Yeah, look where we are here, JJ. 1 minute and 7 seconds on the clock, and not even a single portion of point A has been taken by Ungentlemen. They have the Graviton for Scooty and Bullywug on the Urch setup. They gotta make it count. Scooty throws down the Graviton. Now there's the cleanup. Snake goes down early. Nano boosted Ninja, though, gets out and gets the kill in a Surgic. 5v5 situation. A biotic from Half. And that's gonna melt the entirety of Ungentlemen. There's nowhere for them to run. That biotic was clean. And Bullywug and OP Freeze are likely going to get staggered here, but Irish Taxicab is going to burn the sound barrier to keep them alive and allow the rest of the offense to try and rejoin them in time. That seems like that's going to be the strat here. With Go Crazy getting knocked down by the Bree, that might be enough. And now all of a sudden, there's really little real estate being held by the defense, despite them almost like kind of winning the fight. Moreover, they didn't get the position they needed, and that sound barrier was enough to help the rest of the offense rejoin the team. And now with 17 seconds on the clock, there's going to be a slight recontest here from CmonBrothers. They want to put some more pressure on and force this other squad on Ungentlemen, the blue team, into overtime before they can at least capture it. Oh, Bullywug and OP Freeze get 2. Snake, though, with 1. EMP comes out. Scooty with another 2 there. The EMP was big from Rhino. And CmonBrothers do not have enough juice in the tank to stop this point from being captured. But they did stop Ungentlemen from capping it before overtime got activated. So I would say that's a victory in and of itself. Now 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and that payload is just now leaving the garage.
Yeah, agreed. And literally, the ultimates that they used in trying to contest that last bit of seconds, they literally farmed them in those 30 seconds. Half is pulling out those nano boosts like biotic grenades on cooldown. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is a very solid advantage just won there by CmonBrothers. 5v4 situation already as this payload moving into the second phase. A meteor strike burned by Snake, and that helps get them back out. Scooty gets melted. Another solid biotic grenade from Half. That's just really making these cleanups very easy for CmonBrothers as Ungentlemen, like they commonly do, clumping up a lot in these fights. And of course, nature of King's Row kind of makes you naturally gravitate towards that kind of play. Sets you up for these big biotic grenades from players like Half, and Half's been hitting him very solidly on King's Row, which is really facilitating a lot of what CmonBrothers is able to get done here. Now an EMP from Go Crazy. They're just trying to play proactive, and it's working out. Half with a big kill on the Scooty. 6v5 situation here, and Ungentlemen are unable to get to the payload. That's a big loss there. They don't have that healing. They don't have that cover the payload gives them, and now they're trying to claw their way back to that corner. Now trying to siege their way back with the coalescence coming out from Surgerk, that is. And Doomfist is going to be nano boosted coming out, and with the meteor strike, and now everything's going to be burned here for the red squad. There's the self-destruct coming out. That's not going to find Pater. Ginja still has the primal rage and a transcendence for ATT as well. ATT is getting low. Ginja also gets low. Uses the primal rage. Snake finds Surgerk. ATT is likely going to save this for the next fight. I think that's a smart thing to do because really only one more fight could possibly be played here on this phase. About 40 seconds remaining left, so not much time for the offense to get things done. And so ATT holding on to the Transcendence is definitely going to pay off in the long run.
Healers and tanks pulling out all bars. These fights go on for such a long time with such efficiency from both sides. Just dealing so much damage, but also dealing a lot of defense.
Oh, and Earth Shatter though. And then the biotic grenade there from Surgic to follow up, but they don't get the immediate kills. The tank line though, again victimized by the Earth Shatter. EMP from Rhino. 5v4 situation, 4v4 situation. Though Somber can't get immediate kills there as Wave gets them, but now Ungentlemen has the advantage as the rest of CmonBrothers is separated and getting bodied, and really only the Sombers left, and they can't stay alive on the payload by themselves. Overtime ticking away, but here's the thing: as the longer overtime ticks away, the quicker it's going to go down once the team steps off. So here's an opportunity for the Doomfist, for the Sombra, for the Winston, for the Diva to come in and literally physically remove this offensive team from the payload. Let's see if CmonBrothers can come out with. They have the EMP, no, but Go Crazy gets found out by OP Freeze and gets shut down before they can use the EMP. I mean, that might lose them the fight right here, JJ. That would have been it to stop this from hitting the second checkpoint. There's still going to be a contest, of course, but that's a big loss. Now there's the nano boost on the Diva. Graviton gets put down by Scooty. It's not sucked up, and those kills come easily. 2.33 meters away. Overtime still ticking down, but Ungentlemen will be able to complete the phase and will buy themselves just a little bit more time to complete the map.
Yeah, that one sighting literally changed the game for them. The one ultimate that they could have used going in, EMP, just completely canceled, and moving forward, Graviton worked perfectly, holding them all together, taking them out, and allowing them to push forward for an additional 1 minute.
But, I mean, look at the difference in the ult banks here. I mean, there's one of these 3 ultimates being used. Self-destruct to the EMP. Great play there. The EMP stops Ungentlemen from being able to get away, and the self-destruct seals their fate. 3 kills off of that one, and Surgerk just relinquishes themselves into the pit. 50 seconds now left on the clock, and Ungentlemen have been shut down yet again from this indomitable defense of CmonBrothers.
Yeah, and the last things we're probably going to see here coming out from Ungentlemen, Nano Boost, Earth Shatter, maybe a rally if they're able to harvest it enough. But Snake coming up with the Doomfist ultimate, no doubt he's going to be going for a very beautiful combo going through here and possibly a lot of damage.
There's very little time to really get that damage down now here, JJ. EMP is not there yet for Rhino, but it will be when the fight gets started unless you get killed before it gets going. Rhino goes down and is not going to be around to build the EMP. Now there's a meteor strike coming out from Snake. Cracks it right down, delaying the nano boosted Reinhardt from getting a clean Earth Shatter. Only finds Ginja. It will at least stop the Primal Rage and, shut it down for the remainder of its end duration. But, I mean, Ungentlemen not getting huge value off these ultimates. There's the EMP from Rhino just in time to at least meet the fight, but it might not in time to actually get work done. There's just the Winston being nano boosted. The Sound Barrier comes up against him here, and Go Crazy's in the high ground doing so much unmitigated damage and going to be even closer to another EMP, but I don't even think it's going to be necessary for this fight. There's a self-destruct, another EMP, there it is from Go Crazy, and now it's overkill. Ungentlemen have been taken down for the count on another map. And there it is, CmonBrothers with 2 in a row. That's now 2-1 for CmonBrothers over Ungentlemen. They are now on map, match, set, tournament point right here.
Such a difficult place for Ungentlemen to be. They lose people constantly during their fights. Oh, and this is here, the EMP Diva Bomb that just opened up. Literally just a pushback completely for CmonBrothers. But it's hard for Ungentlemen because it seems, especially with Snake, on Genji, on Doomfist, they're losing people before they can actually do anything. So I'm wondering what it is they're going to be doing forward to remedy that.
I don't know. I feel like this is more in that CmonBrothers really just need a little bit of time to warm up, and now they're really playing very well. The combos are coming down, and that can really, a lot of these matches make the difference. If one team's just hitting the combos, hitting EMP into, easily gotten kills, hitting, nano blades, hitting graviton to self-destruct, EMP to self-destruct, that really just adds up over and over and over again, right? So, and Ungentlemen kind of losing the pace over the course of this set so far, aren't hitting as many of those combos, and that's what they need to get back into this. They got to have those win conditions. They got to have those confirms and the kills. I think they're kind of just playing that textbook Overwatch where they don't have like guaranteed ult combinations they're going for like their opponents are. CmonBrothers are really trying to set themselves up to kind of have a combo to go for it almost any time. And that's a smart thing to do. You want to be cycling through your ult bank instead of just kind of burning it when you need it. Ungentlemen, though, we saw definitely a stronger map from them as opposed to on Anubis, so I definitely don't think they're out of it. I do think that the momentum that they had, obviously coming into the set itself, is gone. CmonBrothers has maintained it to an extent, even though their offense wasn't as strong as it was on Anubis. They're still looking good. They have those 2 maps in a row now. Yeah, it definitely is, like you said, an Ungentlemen's court right now, right? This is the balls in their court to get things going and see what they can do as they move on to their counter pick, as they pick again as being the losing team. They're going to Rialto. So I think this is a scary pick, actually, because if there's any map where teams get full held, it's Rialto these days. And we've seen 2 full holds here, a full hold on Anubis, and then a really solid play here from CmonBrothers. I mean, that could definitely happen on Rialto as well. But at the same time, Ungentlemen, this could be a comfortable pick for them. This could be something that they're strong on and are have saved. We'll see. This is definitely going to make for an exciting map for sure, as it is grand finals here in NA Premier UGC Season 8 Overwatch. Thank you all for tuning in. This is map 4 between CmonBrothers and Ungentlemen, 2-1 for that former team. As we move into map 4, both these teams get ready here, JJ.
Yeah, right now, I believe Go Crazy from CmonBrothers is doing a quick reset, getting the maximum optimization. But I completely agree with you, what you said on Ungentlemen. I see that it's clear that CmonBrothers understands their win conditions, and even Ungentlemen as well. We've seen it, especially on that Streets phase. Took out Sombra. Sombra was the definite target, knowing that she was going to be coming during that fight, and then right after, using the Graviton to its maximum potential, with everybody putting their damage on top of it. And we've seen it with the Lucia barriers, we've seen it with the Rally. But I guess we're seeing it a lot more coming out from, CmonBrothers, and that's what's helping them a lot. I agree with you. Rialto, scary map with not only its verticality, but just its ability to just be able to be held down. Question is, will Ungentlemen be able to finally kind of revamp it, understand those win conditions, and understand what the win conditions are on Rialto to be able to abuse that? Or will CmonBrothers just, keep coming on, showing what they've got so far?
Yeah, that's why I'm seeing Rialto as ooh, that's gonna be scary. Getting hit by EMPs on Rialto, self-destructs, they become even stronger by how narrow this map can be at times. So Ungentlemen really do have to be on their toes for this one. And not only that, they are gonna be on defense first here by being on the blue side. So they already have to be up against this what can be an aggressive offense that we've seen from CmonBrothers. They're going to be on offense first as being on the red squad. So we'll see. It's the defense's map pick, so they won't be the offensive team coming out here first. We'll see how that affects this matchup.
Starting to look on the defense, we're going to be seeing a double sniper comp coming out from Ungentlemen. And then a death ball to hold it up.
Yeah, so yeah, the defense using the two sniper composition makes sense for Rialto. You have these obviously long sight lines you can hold here. I think a lot of teams have been using recently like one sniper Hanzo with like a Pharah or a Sombra or a Genji, you know, like different like characters that like go along with the Widowmaker that can do damage, that can, you know, put a presence on the payload or do damage that doesn't require long sight lines. And you know, Hanzo can, you know, do both of those things. And that's why it's not surprising to do double sniper, because if you have the Widowmaker, having the Hanzo as well is also great. Yeah, not surprising we're seeing this combination on defense too, because obviously on defense you're already be holding the sight lines, waiting for the offense to come to you. Hanzo does really do have to do you know, do that double duty though, as both like a, you know, close range and kind of like snappy offensive DPS, as well as holding these sight lines. So we'll see how this works out for the defense. So far already, you know, doing well, but the offense making some quick changes because they see what they're facing off against, and that's of course the benefit of being right close to spawn. You can make these changes on the fly real quick, no commitment whatsoever. They're going to use that high mobility to just close the gap on the snipers before the snipers can do the damage to kill them. We'll see how that works out. Rhino and OP Freeze already realizing that they're losing these sight lines there, and Snake already taken out Iris Taxi Cab, then gets Surgic. So the supports were completely by themselves up there, and then the snipers were by themselves, and then the tanks. Ungentlemen literally dividing themselves up so that CmonBrothers can get the easy kills, and they've packaged themselves up for that team fight and wrapped themselves up with a bow. So there we go. Ungentlemen losing that one, losing the payload here at Courtyard, and it'll now stroll on through to the first checkpoint.
Yeah, again, scariness of Rialto. So many corridors, so many alternate routes, and Snake took them immediately, taking out the supports when they didn't even realize, like, oh, Rhino getting a beautiful headshot, but will they be able to stop this phase?
That was a great leverage to get into this, right? You've already you lose your Genji so early in the fight. That's a lot of damage that you can't rely on. The rest of the team gets kind of, you know, falls to the wayside. That was a great pick, and then also the tank line really kind of regaining control of the payload very swiftly, and not having to worry about that Genji as well. All in all, definitely a good moment there, and that payload not able to hit the first checkpoint. That's big. So CmonBrothers, it seemed like they kind of easily had that first checkpoint, and they let it slip through their fingers.
Agreed. I mean, as easily as literally Ungentlemen lost that half phase, CmonBrothers just lost their momentum going into almost finishing phase one.
CmonBrothers, though, they are getting close to a bunch of ultimates here. Snake, go crazy. ATT about to have their ultimates pretty soon. Ginja should get their ultimate during the next fight, and then can just pop it once they need to use Primal Rage. Not having Nano Boost, though, would be great. Or, you know, isn't great, because Snake could definitely use it for a Dragon Blade. OP Freeze, though, doesn't have a Graviton to combine that Dragon Strike with. We'll see if they can just get a raw Dragon Strike off. Waves, though, picking off Rhino before the fight even gets started. And then the EMP hits a few there. And Ungentlemen now scattered. Bullywug completely by themselves. There's the Dragon Blade, and Snake just making it easy. Look easy as well. Gets to the payload there, is undefended. It's going to waltz right through to that first checkpoint. Rhino, though, will pick off Snake, but this time it didn't, you know, really didn't matter.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's harsh. The sightlines might be great at certain places for Widowmaker here, but in other places they're horrible, and these CmonBrothers are just taking full advantage of it. Pushing up front on the payload, but then on the opposite side, you've got people just running in on not only your supports, but your snipers.
3 minutes on the clock. Here for this offensive push for CmonBrothers. They are armed with 4 ultimates here, and as they trade, I would say that they got rid of the Zenyatta, losing their Genji. Not a bad trade there. But now AT&T and Genji got like AT&T for 2, going off here on the Lucio, and now getting the attention of this nano boosted Reinhardt and making the Reinhardt run off. But I think it helps that he has a gorilla running next to him. And Bullywug gonna take a swim. AT&T steals the kill, and now 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. This payload is rounding these these corners, and just using the Transcendence, just swoops right onto the payload. A big biotic there onto the Genji, forcing the Genji to rethink that. There's a Graviton comes out with the Dragon Strike. It catches the Sombra, but that's it. 2 ultimates, only 1 kill. I wouldn't say it was worth it really much at all. Waves and ATT, though, get hit by the Earth Shatter, but a great Primal Rage there to deny the Reinhardt Bullywug any of his prey that they picked off from the Earth Shatter. A very great Primal Rage from Ginja, and gets the kill on Bullywug. and that helps another payload checkpoint there for CmonBrothers.
Yeah, 4 ultimates used from Ungentlemen, and none could just stop that momentum that these guys have right now. Either way, we do have switches coming out for them, so it might have been the best play to just switch it up, push everything you got right there. Since it didn't work, move on. See what you can pull out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And again, 3 minutes on the clock here for CmonBrothers, resetting that time they have and giving themselves so much room to work with. Look at this, 3 ultimates going into the back here. A Dragon Blade, a Primal Raging, or just the Winston Drive. All right, 2 ultimates there, sorry. Self-Destruct and the Dragon Blade. And pretty much both are wasted. I mean, they get nothing off the Self-Destruct. Ginja just dove in and got slept, so they couldn't really help the team. Self-Destruct, the Dragon Blade gets nothing. It gets 1 kill. Self-Destruct gets nothing. Yeah, definitely not a good use of resources there from the CmonBrothers. But I would say, hey, you got to test, and sometimes, testing and trying again is the method. So they're not going to go in with a different approach here with the Nano Boost and the EMP. Snake has moved over to the Bree off of that Genji. Waves get slept, go crazy, and Genji, though, getting the more Genji on the Reinhardt now instead of the Winston. And I think these swaps on the fly are big. I like these swaps of CmonBrothers. They're getting chunkier with the extra shielding. 2 barriers added, two rectangular barriers added there, and more crowd control with the help of that Bree plus the Earth Shatter from the Reinhardt. I would say definitely good switches here. Now Bullywug on the Reinhardt, getting nano boosted, forcing everyone away from the payload, scaring them off, and rightly so. Snake is going to fall off and move away. 2 meters on that board though for the payload, so there's really not much farther for CmonBrothers to go, but they only have 1 minute and 30 seconds and change to do it. They don't have much to work with. Only a sound barrier, and Ginja goes super, super, super low, but a great sound barrier there from ATT just in time. There's Ainu from Rhino, though. Who's it going to hit? Doesn't get anybody, but a lot of pressure throwing down and zoning away the offense. 1 minute and 20 seconds now left on the clock here, and the payload is in firm control of the defense. Now Ginja has an Earth Shatter. Snake is about to get rally up, but they're low on health, and they really got to be careful before pushing into this without getting topped off here by ATT and Half. Half does have an Nano Boost, throws it down on the Reinhardt, who whiffs the Earth Shatter, and then they get way too greedy, and Bullywug literally hits like 3 or 4 there that Earth Shatter as everyone turns their backs to them. Our Transcendence thrown down by our stacks. Snake gets slapped, self-destruct on the point, doesn't get anybody. Teams literally hiding behind pillars to avoid it. There's a great anti-grenade there from Surger, who still has a Nano Boost, but it's not enough to keep the team alive. ATT, I believe, getting at least 1 or 2 there. 40 seconds left on the clock as the payload is in place, and Bullywug and OP Freeze getting on the board for 2. Another hold here. CmonBrothers stunned, as if they had the end of the map in their sights, but they can't make it happen.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about Ungentlemen. It almost seemed scary there at first. I thought that with the Graviton, there wasn't enough damage going through. But then the picks just came straight through with the respawn on their advantage. And all their team just coming in for the reinforcement. They were able to take it out. They just got to keep this going. Lucky enough, 10 seconds left. And this is going to be CmonBrothers' probably last attack.
Yeah, and they're only going to have support ultimates to go into this with. They have a Nano Boost and a Sound Barrier. They have an Earth Shatter for Ginja. That's going to be big. And it goes down. How many is that really going to hit? It's actually Bullywug who throws theirs down, and Ginja, I believe, used it as well. Both teams using Earth Shatters, but Bullywug seemed to have been the more effective one. Ginja's still alive, though, but has a Discord orb on them. They're super low. They hit 68 HP, but doesn't go down. Overtime ticking away here. No ultimates left. The Surger throwing down their Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt. Bullywug who keeps swinging away and helps D-mech the Waves mech there from Iris with the help of Iris Taxicab. Now swinging away here, it's Ginja, who's Nano Boosted, throws down a Fire Strike, whips it, 179 HP, and going down with that biotic grenade on them. Still swinging away, though, still alive here. Shield is super low, though. Neither team willing to give up the payload. Ginja gets stunned, but then biotic grenade, an amazing biotic by Half to keep the tank line alive here. And overtime now ticking away. They got to clean things up. The defense still staggering in. This fight just won't let go. Rhino with the McCree does not have the mobility to get away from even the Reinhardt here, who is swinging away. And finally, CmonBrothers are able to finish it off and push the payload to the end of the map.
I don't think I can put into words just how ridiculous both teams are able to mitigate the amount of damage against each other. Beautiful shields, beautiful Zarya, I suppose, rotation, beautiful just amount of not only flanking, but in being flanked, juking enough to keep yourself alive. Both teams just not willing to give each other the opportunity to take any advantage, disadvantage, counter advantage, counter attacks. It's a beautiful thing to witness. good stuff coming out of both teams, but awesome that out of all that push, CmonBrothers was able to fully complete the map, and it's going to give them, well, just in case Ungentlemen is able to do a hard attack, going to give them that advantage of having, you know, a full map completion.
Yeah, absolutely, right? In these full escort situations, you really don't want to be, you know, making it only to the end of the map there, right? So you want to actually complete the map. And, yeah, this is now, you know, CmonBrothers, right? Like, they hold here. They hold Ungentlemen. And that's it. That's the set. They are up 2-1. They win Rialto right here on a defensive hold. And that'll be the end of NA Premier Season 8 here, UGC Overwatch. They will be your champions. Ungentlemen, they have to complete the map. And they got to get... So, you know, there will be some time added to the clock, of course, for CmonBrothers, as they did finish the map. But they'll have a time advantage, Ungentlemen, if they do, you know, complete this with some time. So... this is Ungentlemen's, you know, really map to lose right here, right? They can't be full held. And they got to, you know, do well in the time game as well. So there's a lot riding on this push. They can't, it's not enough to just complete the map here, JJ. They do need to really get some time on the clock to help themselves out here and push this to a 5th and final map. It is map 4 here, Rialto, here at UGC Overwatch. Thank you all for tuning in. Both these teams. Definitely let me hear in the chat who you want to win for both of these squads, as that payload is strolling on through. Ungentlemen not mitigated just yet. The defense is waiting in, you know, almost in plain sight right here. A biotic grenade lands on Surgic and OP Freeze, separating them, the two of them, and Scooty will fill up that gap and gets demeched for their trouble by Waves and the Doomfist there. That was a great biotic grenade from Half to really get things kicked off, but ATT does go down from Irish Taxicab. Their Omnic counterpart showing him what's up. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. The payload continues to push through with just one player really on it. Irish Taxicab, another one. Gets rid of Snake this time. We need some of that Irish Taxicab camera here. Is holding onto that right click. No one home for that one, but a very solid start here for Ungentlemen. As I mean, this is what we saw in the previous push, right? Like, this first phase was taken swiftly, but then we had a defensive hold. Well, we see the same here for CmonBrothers. They got to do a great push here. I know, nice. Ginja gets one, gets another one. And there's CmonBrothers doing exactly what they need, using the nano boost and the Half play there. Half getting that nano boost down. Bullywug gets beat up there and has to fall back. Ungentlemen finally sent back to spawn.
I think the scary thing about CmonBrothers dive is there always seems to be communication between it. If Sombra's attacking, the rest of the team is jumping in. If the team is jumping in, Sombra's attacking someone. There's always a double play, a double-sided spear just going into Ungentlemen's sides. That's always constantly abused, and Ungentlemen, of course, have been able to mitigate it constantly. But right now, already going, this is only barely their second attack. You're going to have to... Oh, as Go Crazy is able to get Rhino in the backline.
Oh, and Snake, I was going to say, both supports literally lining up in a row, and Snake just waits for the planets to align. Surgic and Irish Taxicab going down as a result with those dash resets from Snake and some more residual damage from the rest of the team. And there we go. Team 2 here, the Red Squad, CmonBrothers. I mean, this is what we saw them do on Anubis. I mean, they are the full hold leaders here in this set, and they've reduced Ungentlemen to 1 minute and 30 seconds and change in the clock with a bunch of ultimates in the clock on the board. Both these teams literally about to have 6 ultimates, but really Rhino changing over to this Widowmaker means they're going to be farther away. There's the Dragon Blade, the nano boosted Dragon Blade coming from OP Freeze, as well as the EMP though from Go Crazy, and now there's another Dragon Blade coming out. It's going to be for Sting. It's just a Dragon Blade, not a nano boosted one, but Dragon Blade gets the kill nonetheless. OP Freeze goes down from Ginja. And another cleanup here for the Red Squad.
3 ultimates versus, I believe, whoa, was it 4 ultimates? Wow, on Ungentlemen. Either way, Diva Bomb held up, 60 seconds remaining. We're going to have to see what they pull out. Either way, CmonBrothers do have a stack. All tank ultimates up, as well as Nano Boost to boost it up.
Yeah. CmonBrothers less than a minute away from being your NA Premier Season 8 champions here at UGC Overwatch. They just got to continue to hold here, but Scooty is not done just yet. Self-destruct on the Go Crazy. There's another one, and Waves responds immediately with a self-destruct on the Rhino. Now, a Primal Rage used by Ginja trying to hold off this offense as long as possible, but a Biotic Ray from Surgic helps bolsters up the offensive squad. Now the Diva Wave is going in more, trying to harass. Scooty's on them. Waves is trying to get rid of this Bree as they've been hit by the Biotic Grenade, but Waves loses their mech as a result. Go Crazy and Ginja on the board. Get kills. 13 seconds remaining on the clock, and on the payload, the offense is nowhere to be found. Scooty looking for more, as well as the Lucio still alive here. CmonBrothers now, Snake with the Dragon Blade. Is this it to seal the deal and write their names in blood on the contract? They want this win. There's no one left on the payload for the offense. And it's taken away. Overtime is, there's the Primo, there's the Nano boosted Winston. Bullywug touches it. That might be the last one of Ungentlemen to do so. Rhino then does as well. CmonBrothers, the EMP from Go Crazy. Overtime ticks away. And there it is. Your red squad here, CmonBrothers, will be your NA Premier Season 8 champions, taking the set 3-1 over Ungentlemen. Congrats to them.
What scary competitors, man. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, where a team is just not only coordinated, but attacks in multi-directional phases mechanically with ultimates in every single possible way.
Look at that. And falling around. Once you pop, you can't stop there. Snake going in, Waves going in. Big plays here from the CmonBrothers. The entire team, Go Crazy, Snake, Waves, Ginja, ATT, and Half, playing very well here tonight. And of course, good games, great games here from Ungentlemen, pushing into a map 4. But there you have it, folks. Your NA Premier Season 8 champs, CmonBrothers. After a 3-1 victory, they take the season with a playoff win in Grand Finals, 3-1 over Ungentlemen. Definitely a great set, and glad to have seen out another season of UGC with you, JJ. Any closing thoughts for this match?
I suppose no. I mean, the biggest closing thoughts is if any of you all are inspired, think that your team has the ability to will take on these guys as daunting as they are, as critical. Not only CmonBrothers, but Ungentlemen. Just the amount of sheer plays they're able to pull out. If you think that you can compete against that, we'd be glad to have you all. We have 3 different leagues, from beginner to intermediate to even premier. If you think you can be a part of that, or you feel like you've got a team that, you know, just meshes and they want to try themselves in the UGC League, please look for us. I believe it's going to be coming up in December, and sign up.
Yeah, definitely sign up. Head over to UGCleague.com to sign up for the next season of UGC Overwatch. You want to be in Premier and Intermediate, or the division below that one as well. You definitely check it out. This is CmonBrothers' first season in UGC, and they got the entire competition. They won it. They royal roaded it, JJ. They did it on their first try. Ungentlemen, unfortunately, will be denied their premier win, but they did much better than their previous season, so definitely an upgrade here for the Ungentlemen squad. But overall, great play to both of these teams. Definitely a great set here, JJ. Of course, been another awesome season here doing UGC Overwatch here with you. Definitely happy to be part of it. A great season from all these teams. It was great following them since September. It's been a great long 2 months or so. And thank you all, of course, for tuning in, supporting the teams, you know, seeing you guys week after week. Thank you all for tuning in. That's it for myself and JJ here for UGC Overwatch. Thank you all for tuning in. Definitely check out UGCleague.com for the next season signups, schedule, teams, and more. Hit it up. Check it out for everything UGC Overwatch. Of course, you got to hit a follow here at the channel to stay up to date the next time we're streaming some Premier Intermediate matches. And we'll see you next time at UGC Overwatch. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night.
See you guys.